So the bad news is that the majority of the footage that I had filmed for this review, I lost. It was like almost an hour's worth. Of course, the full review wouldn't have been that long because editing, but I was going to try to go off my notes and go scene by scene for the movie, but I decided not to, 50 minutes in, because it would have been like a 2-hour, 3-hour long video. So I'm just gonna show the footage that was recorded and that was kept, and then I'm just going to go in and mention a few moments that I loved, liked, and other moments that I did not like, and other things that I did not like. Also, one thing that I meant to do before the premiere of this, but I never got around to editing them. I had recorded my reactions for episodes 1 through 3 of WandaVision, of reacting to it, and I wanted to release all those reactions, even the ones I didn't record, leading up to the premiere of this movie. But there's really, I don't know, I might revisit it at a later date, the idea of doing that, and I actually might edit them, I don't know. But yeah, I don't really think I'm going to release that, at least not right now, and I apologize. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing one of the movies in 2022 that I have looked most forward to seeing, and that is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, aka Scarlet Witch in the Multiverse of Madness. I'm going to start out with a non-spoiler review, and then I will work my way into the spoiler review, or just go into the spoiler review. I will let it be known that spoilers are ahead. So for my non-spoiler review, the first thing I would say is, before you go see this movie, it would behoove you to watch WandaVision first prior to seeing this, because you will regret it, because there's a lot of build-up and explanations that you don't get in this movie for Wanda the Scarlet Witch, that you will get from WandaVision. I won't go into details of I'll say the details why for the spoiler review. But all in all, should you see this movie? Yes, definitely. It would definitely be a fun and exciting watch for anybody. Visually, it is stunning. There's only a few places where the special effects are kind of weird, maybe 1 or 2. That's really all I have for this non-spoiler review. Going into the spoiler review. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. I'm pretty much going to just go through my notes in order of the movie and just read basically what's going on in the movie, and I'll input my thoughts on it. The movie starts off right into action, and I really love that. The movie opens up with Defender Strange, which is the variant of our Strange, which is from our Earth, 616, but the opening scene is not on 616. They're running away from a demon in a destroyed purple universe, and Strange says that they can't let the demon steal her powers, basically steal America Chavez's powers, and they are trying to get to a platform with a book, and we find out that that book is the book of the Vishanti, which is basically the opposite of the Darkhold. It's for good sorcerers, and it has everything a sorcerer needs to defeat anyone. The demon stabs Doctor Strange, or this Strange, Defender Strange, and he tries to stop it with a spell, but the demon is too powerful. Strange then tries to steal America's powers, saying it's the only way. And we've heard this before, and they'll get into that, was it the only way? Maybe not for this situation, but in general, Doctor Strange, is it the only way, or the only way you want to go about it? But yeah, he says it's the only way to save the multiverse because she doesn't know how to use her powers. But as he's stealing her powers, he's fatally stabbed. He's fatally stabbed through the chest, and he falls down. And then America Chavez is captured, but as she's yelling, this is one of my many favorite parts in this movie. As she's captured, she starts screaming, and her eyes turn whitish blue, and a star portal opens behind her, that is her power. She can open multiversal portals. I'm excited because yeah, but she can't control it because she can only do it when she feels strong emotions. One of them being terror. Before dying, Strange frees America and they both go through the portal. Strange then wakes up in his bed thinking it was all a dream. This is the MCU variant that we know. They do both go through the portal, but one goes through not alive. Well, actually, I don't know. I guess he dies like when he gets to our universe. It cuts to Doctor Strange, our Doctor Strange, waking up. Our Strange wakes up and he thinks it was all a dream, and then he gets out of bed and fixes his broken watch, blah 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 blah, and he gets dressed and goes to Christine's wedding, and it's not his wedding to Christine. So also when he was getting dressed, I thought it was cool how he like used his magic to like tie his tie. I wonder if he knows how to tie a tie, or like he like there's like some spell to like instantly do it for you without you even having to know how to do it yourself. Because if so, can I get that please? They show the watch, which I think he fixes, if I'm not mistaken. But they show the watch that was given to him from Christine as he was getting dressed or whatever. And one thing that I didn't expect is how Strange would realize that Wanda was the villain, because I pretty much knew that she was going to be the villain in this movie, but I didn't expect her to slip up and say America Chavez's name, even though Strange had not mentioned it to her, thus proving that the two monsters at the beginning with the runes on them were sent by her or controlled by her. Thought that was interesting. I loved it when Doctor Strange asked what happens if I don't follow your guidance for me to like turn America Chavez into you, to give her to you. When he asked what would happen if he didn't do that, I loved it that she said, then it will not be Wanda who comes to the Comertage, it will be the Scarlet Witch. I'm like, yes. Which goes back to the acting in this movie is not the issue that I have with this movie. It is the script, the writing, the plot, the story. It could have been better. And we pretty much, it's like WandaVision meant nothing. And it pretty much didn't because the director never even watched WandaVision. One of the few things that I loved about the music is that whenever going back, when they first show Wanda, they play the WandaVision theme. I love that. I also loved it when they showed, I'm jumping all over the place, but I loved it when they showed the Illuminati. I loved it that when they showed Professor X, they played the 90s X-Men TV show theme. Another thing that I loved, I'm really just going to be going all over the place and I apologize. I do have notes, but I'm just thinking of things as I go through my notes. One thing I loved is that when Doctor Strange says, they're not real, you created your kids from magic. I love it that she says, don't all mothers do that? I love that. And this honestly was in some ways the perfect Mother's Day movie, and in some ways the worst Mother's Day movie to watch. Going back to the Illuminati scene, it was interesting, and I know even I wanted John Krasinski to play Mr. Fantastic for like the Fantastic Four movie, and this as well, but like just in the MCU in general, I will say his performance came off very bland, and I hope that if they do keep him, I hope that it improves, because Mr. Fantastic in the comics is an asshole, is a smart ass. He's like Iron Man but worse. So he's also cocky and like confident, but I didn't get that vibe from John Krasinski playing Mr. Fantastic. So hopefully they improve upon that if they do include him in future movies, which I hope they do, because visually he looks stunning as Mr. Fantastic. Speaking of visually stunning, it was my favorite kill scene of Wanda killing an Illuminati member was Black Bolt's kill scene. It was horrifying, but it was fascinating to watch. Also, speaking of fascinating stuff to watch, when they were on Titan and they showed their Thanos killed, like just skewered, that whole scene was just beautiful and fascinating to watch. It's nice to see other Infinity War Endgame scenarios from other multiverses, other universes in the MCU. Finally, one of the many things I did not like was the ice cream song. That was dumb. I know it's supposed to be sweet, but they could have at least had the people who wrote the songs from WandaVision come in and write something more creative than that. I mean, they were the writers from Frozen. A few other lines from the Illuminati's fight scene that really stuck out to me and were really interesting to listen to was when Reed said, "I have children, I understand your pain." And Wanda says, "Their mother, is she still alive?" Reed says yes. Wanda says, "Good. They'll have someone to raise them," which is interesting on so many levels because number one, that's an amazing threat. Number two, that says that he has children, which is very interesting because his kids, one of them, I can't remember his name, but his son is like one of the most powerful characters in the comics. Like as a kid, he was just sitting down creating universes like with a cover over his head and while sitting on his bed. That's incredible, and I hope we get to see that in live action. The fight between the variant Captain Marvel is one of the worst CGI scenes in the movie in my opinion. It starts out as being visually stunning, but when they start spinning around, that's when the special effects look rushed to me. But in conclusion, I'm still conflicted with this movie. I don't absolutely hate it, but I definitely do not absolutely love it. It was an okay movie. I think that Marvel going forward should vet their directors, their writers, and make sure that they are aware of what is going on currently with the characters that will be in their movies, TV shows. That way they don't replicate what they've already been through. The good thing about this movie, the things that I enjoyed was the visual side of it. Visually, it's stunning. I enjoyed seeing Wanda just kill everything in her way. I loved it. However, her dying in the end really annoyed me. I know she's not completely dead. Spoiler alert. There was no body, so normally in comic movies, if there's no body, there's no death. The saving grace is that Wanda will have many more projects after this. It's heavily rumored that she's going to even get her own movie. But yeah, the story was lacking, the score was lacking. There were no new memorable themes for this movie, for the soundtrack, score, whatever. They were all themes we've already heard for previous projects. There was nothing new. And even the previous themes that we heard, it was only like 20 to 30 seconds tops for each. The end credit scene, the mid-credit scene was fascinating. However, the third eye could have had some work done on it. That special effect, the CGI for the third eye looked like an Instagram filter or a Snapchat filter. However, it was interesting that they introduced Clea, which in the comics is Dormammu's niece and is also a love interest to Doctor Strange in the comics. But all in all, I would give this movie 6.5 out of 10 Ultron bots. Yes, bots. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you haven't already done so, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.